Speaking of continuity, will the Suns have continuity next season? Chris Paul has a $44 million decision to make in the next couple of weeks. He has a player option that guarantees him that amount for next season, or he can opt out and seek a multi-year deal for more money overall. Here's all the options laid out with CP3. So, Ramona, what should Chris do?
I think that he will decline that player option and do an extension with Phoenix. Now, that's what he should do. I think that's what he will do. But if you decline the option and you become a free agent, there is always a little bit of doubt about what you can do, okay? But I think his leverage is never going to be higher than when he led the team to the finals. I know they didn't win, everybody's disappointed, but he was the missing piece for them, and I think they love him, he loves them. I think if he goes anywhere, I'd be very surprised, but if he goes anywhere, I don't buy anything outside of LA or Phoenix.
Which LA team, though?
Which LA team? Are you saying that it could be the Lakers or the Clippers?
I'm just saying, there's two, so, is there one more than the other, maybe,
Yeah, and look, never say no. I know we had a whole documentary about the leaving of Clippers, but...
All right. Perk, what do you think?
Well, I think if he was to leave Phoenix, he would go to the Lakers. But I'm with Ramona, George. I don't think he's going anywhere. And one thing I always say, and I get it, right? We as media, we put pressure on a lot of guys to win championships. But we have to remember, at the end of the day, this is their job. So I always encourage players to get your money, get your lettuce, get the most dollars that you possibly can before this run is over with, right? And we know that Chris Paul wants to win. He is a winner, but he wants to get a championship. But I cannot be mad at a man for passing up a chance to make, 44, or whether he signed the extension for $100 million. Like, I can't be mad at a guy, especially at the age of 36 on his way out. Championships come second because this is his workplace, and he got to maximize on the dollars. We just saw LeBron James, first player ever in sports history to reach $1 billion while playing the game of basketball.
Yep, first team sport player to reach $1 billion. Now, Chris Paul's situation is a little interesting, though, because he's also the president of the Players Association, right? So I don't think he should set or would set a precedent of taking a discount, right, to go somewhere else. So I do think, to Perk's point, you do have to capitalize financially. To your point, Ramona, he's in a situation where he's never going to have better leverage leading a team to the finals. But when we mentioned the other options, right, like L.A., to put it succinctly, L.A.'s cap situation, Ramona, is like a Facebook status. It's complicated, is it not?
Yeah. Look, the only way you go to the Lakers or the Clippers is if it's a sign and trade, right? Which means they'd have to give up something, and Phoenix would have to be willing to take something back. You have to work with Phoenix to do that. Chris Paul did that before. That's how he went to Houston. It was a sign and trade. So I don't even know if it was a sign and trade. He had to work with the Clippers.
That means Phoenix would take Schroeder back, right?
So I don't think Phoenix wants to do that. I think Phoenix wants to keep him.
Right, of course.
You have to convince Phoenix to work with you to do that. It's very difficult to do that for Chris, but I just think he stays right there. I don't buy any of the stuff with New York or any of the teams out there. He lives in LA. His family's here. It's been such a good fit for him in Phoenix, and the only other doors I could see opening would be the Lakers or the Clippers. Both of whom need point guards, by the way.
But you know what else? You know what else? Right now, Phoenix is eye candy to other free agents, right? When you look at this Phoenix Suns team, you look at the culture that they have built going to the finals. If you're a free agent, you should consider going there. And then I have all the trust in the world in James Jones, our guy, champ. George, you know about him down there in Miami. He's going to figure out ways to improve this roster. He's going to get pieces that need to be and fill those roles that he saw to get them back to, or try to get them back to where they need to go.
Yeah, listen, I am a big fan of James Jones going way back to when he played at American High School in Hialeah, Florida. All right, Big Perk, that's when I knew of James Jones. Way before his days at the University of Miami or playing for all the NBA teams and being a GM. So I do agree with that, but I'll ask you quickly, and I'd love to get Ramona's thoughts before we move on as well. Where are they in the hierarchy next year if all things are even? If the Lakers are healthy, if the Clippers are healthy, if Utah is healthy? Where is Phoenix in that mix, Perk?
Well, they're top 5. One, because I feel like Kawhi Leonard is not coming back this season. 2 is because I do not trust the Utah Jazz, and they have given us every reason not to trust them. So when you look at the teams in the West is wide open again. It's wide open again. Now, if LeBron James and Anthony Davis come back healthy, which I think they are, they're going to be my favorites coming out of the Western Conference, is the Los Angeles Lakers.
I agree with you. I think the Lakers will probably be the Vegas betting odds, and I think internally, around the league, that's still the team in the Western Conference that people measure themselves against. And let's see what the Lakers do, by the way, as we approach free agency and the draft, because they have been very active in setting up different scenarios for themselves. I think last year, Rob Pelinka showed he wants to get better. He's going to keep trying to do things to get better. Now, last year, I think they got better, but it didn't fit together as well. Yeah. Doesn't mean they're going to stop trying to get better, though. Try a different mix. And so they have been very aggressive, and let's see where they end up in about 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.